We're live. Good morning. Hello.
Morning.
Hi. We're not prepping at all, are we? None of that going on. None of that shady and shambolic shenanigans going on.
Oh, I've still got my glasses on. I don't need them. I'm not doing any demoing
Well,
today.
you know, you can. I'd be fine with that. That would all be good.
Might leave it all up to you.
So yes, hello, good morning. And thank you for joining us again. We are very grateful, aren't we, SJ?
Yes, we are.
Very, very grateful. And yesterday we had lots of love for our Christmassy bits.
We did.
Yeah.
It was a lot of love for it, and I mean,
We're all about our Christmassy
we're
makes.
all about our crispy meats.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love Christmas.
Did you say crispy makes?
Did
Did you say crispy?
Yeah.
Are we getting on to food already?
I know. No.
You didn't have a cup of tea again, did you? No.
I'm far more relaxed when I'm not on this side of the camera, so I remember my cups of tea then.
I know. I'm trying to find us on the Book of Face.
Okay.
The Book of Face has had some updatiness this morning.
It has, yeah, so that didn't help us this morning, did
No.
it? We had some updates and it threw everything out a little bit, so we had a little bit of a quick rush to get ourselves on air, but it's fine, we're here.
We're there though.
Yeah,
I can
we
see
made
us.
it.
I
we
found
made it.
us. Jan's here as well. Good morning, Jan and Sharon and Danny and Auntie Lizzie Prangle. Back again. Hi. Didn't put her off completely then yesterday. Rona. Oh, you're doing a fab job, ladies, she says.
Oh, thank you.
We heart you all very, very much.
We really
very,
do.
very grateful for your kindness.
We actually have a update on some of our Christmassy products yesterday, don't we? So we had the badges, the key rings, the hangings,
The beautiful little felt kit.
the little felt
Which were
kits.
much loved, weren't they?
Yes, and we sold out of some yesterday, and there were some that we had marketed to you guys, but we didn't have the stock of because they sent us half a box, and we got on the phone to them after the show yesterday, and they promised us that they would get it all sent to us
They did.
ASAP.
Yeah.
And they also let us know that on the items that we have sold out of, we could get more
A
of.
little bit more,
A
yes.
little bit more.
So we've added some extra stock on. When it says delayed dispatch on those items in the description, they are actually on their way to us. We are told. So it won't be delayed. Chances are, in fact, by the time they arrive will be when we're packing our orders. So,
Yes.
because they are a good supplier. We like them a
Yeah,
lot.
they are very
Oh,
good.
Captain Small says hi. Morning, Tash. Good morning, Captain Small. Hi, Ems. I hope you're having a lovely holiday. Now, go away. Go and have a lovely holiday. Stop watching us.
I feel like she's just tuning in for the first little bit to
I
make
hope
sure that
so.
we actually
Just
have
to say
remembered to
hi.
come live.
I mean, that's possibly part of it. But yeah, if you could go now, then we'll feel much less nervous about doing this when you're not watching, Natasha. Amazing.
But yes, so if you head to the website, if there were any felt kits that you saw yesterday but were sold out, or any that you might have seen on the newsletter or in our social media and said that you couldn't find it, they should all now be on the website.
Absolutely. And Tash says she's stood in a field feeding the horses and she's going to go now.
Oh, okay,
Perfect.
fabulous.
That's exactly what we want to hear. We love you, but go. Have a lovely, lovely time. I think everyone wishes her a lovely, lovely time. We all know how Natasha does not have a holiday. Look at me. I'm like tapping away here. What am I doing? I'm pasting the link to today's lovely products for you, because this is all the stuff I normally do behind the camera. Over in that corner, actually.
Yeah, now you're scurrying off to the corner of the screen to try and get it all done.
I know. Like, no one's noticing. No one's noticing at all.
No. So shall I just carry on talking while you're typing? What else can we
Fine.
talk about? So, and we have anyone who missed the announcements yesterday, we have got the wreath kits available on pre-order. So we'll be doing the show on the 30th of November, but you can buy your kits now.
So you pre-order your kit and it'll be sent out to you in plenty of time to wreath along with us on the 30th of November. With your mince pie and your mulled wine and all of that.
Hot chocolates.
Yeah. In fact, hot chocolate's one of the felt kits we've got. That's, if you have a look, you'll see it's so
very,
cute.
very cute.
But you're
I
right.
do like that
Other
one.
beverages are also perfectly acceptable, including gin.
And Prosecco, ho ho.
Prosecco, ho 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 also. But we have, we have that show coming up, which will be phenomenal. We've launched it early this year just to make sure that everyone gets the chance to put their name down and have their kit ordered, and then you're going to get it.
Yeah, we did have a few people that missed out last year. Might have seen that we were doing the wreath along a little bit too late. And unfortunately,
they'd already bought one.
And with the florist, you know, she needs a cut-off date to be able to get it all packed, ready. And also, you know, we're trying to make it accessible to everyone, really, aren't we? If we get it out there earlier, you can get on the pre-order list a lot earlier, and hopefully then that means that more of us can do it together. But
absolutely, and if we give the florist plenty of time, she can do more kits, which is all good.
Yeah.
Lots of people saying hi to Natasha and telling her to go away.
I'm glad that we're all on the same page.
Perfect. Myra says, no worries, girls, it'll be worth the wait. It will be worth the wait, for sure. And Tasha says she was only here to see our happy faces and bye.
Oh,
she's gone now. Bye.
Bye.
So now she's gone. We can tell the world about the discount code.
Oh, yeah. It's keeping that one a little bit secret until she's gone.
She gave us total,
she gave us full reign on the show. So before we came to this week, me and Gemma were kind of saying to Natasha, you know, what shows do you want us to do? Is there any particular fabric ranges that you want us, you know, is there anything coming in that you want us to put on air or make into a project? And she just kept saying, just do what you want to do. Do what you feel is best.
Yeah,
so
she did.
At the beginning, we were like, oh, okay, like what can we do? And that's when we came up with our Christmas show.
Yeah.
And then we got a little bit worried and we were a bit like, oh, like, do we actually have full reign or do we have to be a little bit careful? And we've decided that we have full reign.
Yeah.
So today...
We know you love a bargain.
We know you love a bargain. And we had people asking yesterday, didn't we?
Do you have your finger on the discount button?
Do we have the thing? Yes, and we do. I definitely do. So for today, you can get £5 off when you spend £50 or more.
Which we know.
Any Natasha Makes product.
Yeah, we know that's a favourite. Who wouldn't love that?
Yes. You can use the code as many times as you like.
Yeah. Don't mind me, I'm just,
just pressing over there. So if there's anything that you saw yesterday that you maybe didn't pop into your basket, if there's anything in today's show, we will have that offer on the website. But it is going to be up there for a limited time only. We have to be careful in case we have to take it down before Tash comes back, really, don't we?
We do.
Way before that.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be up there for the... We do have to warn you, it's not going to be up there for the full week. So really do take advantage of that.
Absolutely. I mean, we also did the crafty little discount. I really hope she has gone because we're going to be in trouble.
And,
the other crafty little discount.
Do you want me to grab it?
I am. No, here, I shall pass it to you. Look, teamwork makes the dream work. I am a big fan of a charm pack. I think everyone knows this because I hate cutting fabric. It makes me have the heebie-jeebies. And part of the reason I didn't want to demo on the show was I don't like cutting the fabric in case I cut it wrong. Yes, I know it's ridiculous.
And this is why we have everything
all
pre-cut.
Is cut because I can't bear because I will cut it wrong. I'll get in a tiz and I'll cut it wrong, and then I might say some naughty words that will get us into trouble with Facebook.
Which I have had to warn you about this morning already.
Yeah. So I have done some cutting, but this is why I love a charm pack, because when I first started quilting, in fact, I don't even know whether you know my quilting story.
I don't know. Come on, share it with us all.
Yeah, so something brings people to quilting. I was talking to John Cole Morgan about this, and he said it's quite often a traumatic incident that brings you to quilting. And mine was the drive shaft dropped out of my car in the middle lane of the M1 at rush hour. And I had to ring 999. I was very, very fortunate that there was a minor accident further up, so people were travelling more slowly than they would have been. And an amazing lorry driver who got a big trailer, he stopped in the slow lane and jumped out, and he put cones out to cone off our two lanes, because until he appeared, people were just not seeing me. Apparently the police say it's the worst place you can break down is the middle lane. So clearly quite traumatic it was, because I couldn't get out of the car and run because I'd been hit, which is what they kept saying to me. If it becomes possible, you should try to do. You can't really do that in the middle.
Not on a motorway. No.
And afterwards,
the M1 as well, one of the busiest.
I spent a couple of weeks rocking backwards and forwards and drinking port and thinking about all the things I'd wanted to do with my life that I hadn't done, and learning to quilt was one of them. So I went to a local quilting shop to me, and I did it's just a basic panel, like a solid panel they called it a cheetah panel. It's an American term as far as I'm aware, that looks like fabrics that have been pieced together.
Okay.
But it's all one solid sheet. So we did that, wadding, backing, and then you just sort of sewed along the lines that look like they were the places that fabrics were joined.
Yeah.
Did that. Then my second class I did was a patchwork quilt, but done with a charm pack. And I love a pre-cut because they're cut perfectly.
They really are, yeah.
They're square. I've since discovered the stripology, which honestly changed my life. Hence, I've got it in various sizes, including the squared mini. But until that point, it was the one where I felt really happy to quilt, was because I knew they were cut square. There was no, wonkiness to deal with. So yeah, I heart a charm pack. But Tasha's done a few really lovely makes with charm packs in her time. And we had these Jardin de Fleurs charm packs come in. We've already had the fabrics on the show.
Yes.
These kind of got lost in amongst the move and everything else we needed to load them. Slightly forgotten that we needed to put them onto a show. So we do have all of the fabrics from the Jardin de Fleurs, which are absolutely beautiful, incidentally. Shall we close up?
Yeah, shall we?
Shall we? You can have a little flick, I think.
Should we have a...
Just that away. There we go.
There we go.
You're much better at the close-up camera than me. This bodes well for later, doesn't it? But they're just the most beautiful colours. You've got just gorgeous,
I'm not
gorgeous
flicking
option
very
there.
well. I
It's
apologise for this.
But we can see. And these fabrics we have by the half metre. But to buy them in a pre-cut charm pack we thought was great. And Tash is really, really good with a charm pack. She has made these projects in front of me, which I thought we'd have a little look at as well. Because I've put the patterns up today. We haven't had these on the show for a while. But for anyone who wants to encourage someone new to quilting, or if you just want an easy make yourself, Tash did this here, which was her simple lap quilt using a charm pack. I have tagged these patterns in today's show so you can see
And that's
them.
a full charm pack there, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. I don't know whether there was a couple of
there
squares
might have
left
been
over.
Yeah.
Possibly. But yeah, what a gorgeous make that was. And she made that in a morning before the show as well. It was really quick. Just a beautiful make. And then we also have, of course, the Orphan Block Challenge. She's used charm packs in those before. And her tote, which used a charm pack and then just a little skiddly diddly bit of plain there. And she's done that two-sided with the two colours. She's just cherry-picked which
look great,
ones
doesn't
to
it?
use. Yeah, really great. So when we saw we'd got these, clearly I've not loaded them before. Whoops. We've put them on a really, really, really silly offer. So enjoy those if you can get your hands on them. They won't stay around long and we won't be getting any more.
I think we've already started selling these this morning
we have.
already
I've seen
before
them
we even came
flying
to
out.
air. So
No one's been
yeah, definitely
told.
grab them, pop them in your basket and pair it with any of our instructions that use charm packs if you haven't got them in your stash already. That's that one. Pop it back up there.
Right, low,
Yes.
pack it in.
Oh no.
Because it's really making me anxious that I'm going to have got something wrong. And she's putting cheeky things up. Myra says, let's party, boss lady's gone. Lo does say here, thank you for giving us free packs of quilting clips just for being here. No, I'm not that easily fooled. Stop it. I'm sweating, look. You see how shiny I am?
You're okay.
Like, don't make me worry I've loaded stuff wrong or done things incorrectly. I know I'm all right because this one's checked things with me and she's very thorough. You have a carte blanche to do what you like. Wow, says Claire Angelina. We actually do, but we do have to deal with her when she gets back.
That's
so
our
we're not going to
only
take the
problem.
mickey.
Yeah. And then we also may never be given any responsibility ever again.
I mean, there is that, and there is a thought that, you know, if we did behave badly, then we might actually not have to do this again.
Yeah.
But we do love her, and we do want her to know that she can go away or she
not
can just have a day
worry.
off even and just not have to worry. So Geraldine says she'll watch later. She's working today and tomorrow. We did a fabulous job yesterday.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. We've had lovely kind messages.
We have, yeah. We had some lovely emails coming in yesterday as well, and it really means a lot because this is not mine and Gemma's comfort zone.
It's really not.
Although we can probably chat for Britain.
We both can. There's no probably in that.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Poor
I
Josh
was
is
trying
sad.
to be kind.
Poor Josh. I think he probably had to lie in a darkened room yesterday afternoon after an hour and a half of listening to us gab.
Yeah, probably.
This is why he doesn't come into the office very often. He's like, stays in
With
his
too
little room.
much.
Yeah.
But no, so although we can chat for a very long time, as you could probably tell yesterday, we weren't getting the camera angles quite right. We're forgetting to switch. I'm still trying to figure out how this close-up works.
It's weird, isn't it? Because it just looks like, when you're watching it, you think, well,
Tash makes it
move
look
that
so
way.
easy.
Or move it, and it just, no. Oh,
So,
all right, Iron.
Iron's
The
beeping.
Iron's got something to say for itself. It chats like us.
Maybe it agrees with us that we're not very good at the close-up camera. But we're really, really thankful that you have tuned in, and that you've tuned in again today.
Myra says, I'm like a phobic zip woman. Yeah, I know what phobic zip people are like. I haven't done a lot with zips. The only times I've put zips in, actually, they've gone perfectly, which kind of makes me even more phobic of them, because I know that's not the norm for someone when they first do a zip.
Yeah.
So the fact that I've put them in and they've gone great, I'm like, oh.
I must be doing something wrong.
For the one that's going to go wrong, and I refuse to do one here, because that would be the one that would go wrong. Tash is all over zips. She's great. That's the lap quilt where Emily ran off with 2 squares only hours before you were due on air. That's absolutely right, Claire.
That was the one, wasn't it? We were missing. That's why it's missing a few.
Because of course we make our make several days before. No, Tash gets caught out, doesn't she, when things like that happen? OSJ, please stop saying you're not doing things very well. You're doing brilliantly, and the camera loves you too.
Oh, thank you.
She's beautiful, so of course it does. Oh, and we've got lots of agreeing going on. My mum says we're doing a great job. So it must be true, because mummies never say nice things to their children just to appease them, do they? Colette says, morning, gorgeous ladies. Doing a brilliant job. And Jane says she's got her charm pack. Thanks, wonderful ladies. We're doing a great job. I mean, she thinks we're doing a great job because we've given her the charm pack for a steal. You're very welcome, Jane. Enjoy.
I know. We're just throwing offers. Yeah. Please say we're doing a good job. But
this will be one of those products where Tash comes back and says, you did keep one back for me, didn't you? I wanted one for my stash. And we'll both go,
have we? Oh
no, have I? Heck, I've put them all up.
All right, then you have to hurry, guys, because otherwise she'll be stealing one very soon. But
so yes. So for those who missed yesterday, we did talk about our lovely new kits we've talked about already, but we also had these here Christmas fabrics from Moda, which we loved very much.
Yes.
I had thrown together a Christmas tree block here, which I have now, should we get it down, have a little peek? I've now sort of sewn the last few bits together.
Should I do it on a close-up?
As it turns out, the 1/4 inch on here is the same as mine at home, I think, because we didn't have any major problems with joining. So if we do, there we go. Lefty, lefty, lefty down. Hooray!
There you go.
There we go.
Look
so my little Christmas tree.
And you made something else as well, didn't you? Can I show everyone that as well?
Yeah, well that was...
It's not finished,
but...
So
I was gabbing that I'd got an idea of something that could be done with a creative grid, and it was the non-slip multi-size 2 peaks in 1 grid, this one here. And I looked at the triangle and I thought you could cut triangles of this very beautiful fabric, machine around, leaving a little gap to stuff and to shove in a cinnamon stick. And then when I can find the glue gun, I'm going to make these. I'm going to string them and hang them. Little Christmas tree. I might get some little wooden stars or something and perhaps stick them on bits on.
Yeah.
But it was just a cute little fun make with a cinnamon stick.
It is.
It
looks great. Yeah, let's do a close.
Just ignore the pins because I don't know where she's put the glue gun.
Yeah, we're still trying to locate that.
It fits in with that sort of rusticy theme that we had going on yesterday, doesn't it?
But it does look great.
It's cute. So for those who thought I was a bit mad, well, you're not wrong, but for those who thought I was a bit mad yesterday, saying, I can just visualise, you know, cutting out some triangles and making a tree. That was what I had in mind. Oh, let's squeeze that back up there. Tash does this so much better. She's so much taller than me.
Yeah.
We watch it fall down halfway through, but that is, again, par for the course. We normally have at least one thing that goes on the wonk part way through, don't we?
True.
Have we forgotten anything?
No, I don't think
so.
The
Eco Craft book is still there and loaded and
available on pre-order as well.
And today I'm going to make a tissue box cover, which, what did we call it yesterday? Granny makes, I think.
Yes, because when
that said I love a granny make.
I think it was, yeah. So when Gemma brought this idea to Natasha, she kind of thought, is anyone really going to be interested in that? And then it got called a granny make yesterday. Yeah, but I think a lot of us actually quite liked the idea of it.
Yeah, I do. obviously I designed it, but where it came from is I've got a problem with my immune system. So that's why I was locked in for many, many months last year, and why I keep my bubble very small, you included.
Thanks.
My very tiny bubble. But I get through a lot of tissues because I can go from normal to looking like I've got full-blown flu, eyes pouring, nose pouring, shivering,
I think it happened
sneezing.
towards the end of yesterday. I turned around to
Yeah.
Gemma and she looked like she'd been bawling her eyes out, and I was like,
Yeah.
are you okay?
I went, I need to go home to bed. And I slept for so long last night. I just fell asleep on the chair, then the sofa, then went to bed and just slept all the way through. Hence the cutting and pressing of the fabric
This morning.
that I took home with me to prep last night is happening this morning. But when I do have like what we refer to as an immune crash, I just eyes, nose, everything pour. So I have boxes of tissues dotted around constantly, and I'm not one for spending a lot on tissues for obvious reasons because I get through them in vast quantity. So I'll buy a budget brand, and the boxes aren't always that. Hang on, no brand showing. They're not always that pretty, are they? You know, you get these.
That one doesn't look so bad.
These aren't too bad, but they don't match my decor, and I am nothing if not a little bit OCD.
Very true.
So the one that's on the front of the instructions was the prototype, which is here. Bit of cave cactus flower. Who doesn't love cave cactus flower? It's just gorgeous. Love, love, love. So I made that one, and then I made one, because as much as you say the box is pretty, we've got a vintage caravan called Errol. And Errol is classic. I mean, he's 40 years old, but he's classic sort of 70s, turn of the 80s decor and colour. He's brown and orange and sort of neutrals. So to put a pink and turquoise and whatever tissue box in there
didn't sit well with you.
It just doesn't do well, darling. I must have, you know, complete beautiful decor. So I made one out of leftovers that I'd got from making my curtains.
I think that's what's great with this make as well, isn't it? You could use your scraps if you wanted to.
You could. I cut yesterday, just to give indication, I cut a long quarter of one of our very beautiful fabrics that we'll look at in a second. And I've got tons left. All of this off cutty pieces. You know, someone who's not such a fussy fabric butcher as me, who wanted to fussy cut, would have had neater cuts and not, you know, not ended up with lots of little bits. But there's lots of fabric left here. And that was a long quarter. Okay, so you can make these as gifts. It's going to cost you very little in fabric. You do need a medium weight interfacing, I think, just to give the fabric a bit more stability, make it behave and give it some form.
Yeah, because sometimes the boxes that you get inside aren't actually all that sturdy, are they? So
no,
if you
these
create
ones definitely aren't, because it's a cheap box. But that kind of helps when you want to, if you have got your stitching slightly off, there's normally a bit of give in the box, so that's useful. But yeah, should we look at the fabrics before I start my make, and then everyone can see what I'm using. It's from Christopher Wilson Tate, who he's done a rather beautiful job, has he not? We're going to close up all of these. So we have 24 fabrics from his new
overheading, or are we?
I think, give me 2 seconds, and we will. Just checking we've got no other comments. Oh, I remember at school understanding 3D shapes in the blink of an eye. Most of my classmates were struggling to count their sides of a cube with one in their hand, and I could visualise it. We'll talk about that. But yeah, well done, Claire. Also, these things aren't always completely square / cube-like. Close up or overhead? Do you want to go overhead for now?
Yeah, can do.
Go overhead for now. There we go. Let's see what that looks like.
It's too many options.
There we are. Ta-da!
Look at that.
Look at all my tech in the way. Marvellous. Yeah, I think, do you know what? To see the quality of the cloth and everything, let's go close up, because you're going to see it better.
Okay.
And because you're lifting it and I don't have to. So, you know. So, Natasha's chosen her favourite 24 from these. They're called the Regency Somerset Blues, and they're the latest collection by Christopher Wilson Tate for Moda. Basically what he's done is he's done a travel through the British Isles, and he'd found some quilts, some antique quilts that were like late 18th century, SJ.
Yeah.
And some of the fabrics in there he just adored, and that's where his inspirations come from with this collection. So this one here, I think, is the Glastonbury fabric. Just have a Yep, that is
I
Glastonbury.
think it is, yeah. Should we grab it in some other colours as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Glastonbury is a medium scale floral, and it's got these beautiful birds on it from India. So once we get the next one up.
Sorry.
They're all rolled different, so that's going to be upside down now. You have to
I know.
turn it, flip
Ooh.
it, and just, yeah. Helpful. Can we see those birds? There we go.
There
Well
you
done,
go,
SJ.
yeah.
Smack bang in the middle of the screen. Beautiful. And I love these. I think they're absolutely stunning. And the colours actually really appeal to me as well.
They
So
are
we
lovely,
have-
aren't they?
Do you know, I just love blues anyway. We talked about that yesterday. But
Yeah.
this Indian yellow as well, they call it. No, it's upside down.
I
again,
know, I've
isn't
got
it?
that one upside down, haven't I?
Turn it round and perhaps just lay it down and lift some of the fabric. Pop the bolt down so you're not having to hold the weight of it.
I'm like leaning up against the machine.
That's all right.
There we go.
There we go.
Just getting some muscles, Gemma.
It's all right.
Haven't been to the
It's all
gym
right.
in a while.
No one's noticing. You know, it's just us, just me and you. See if we drop it. There we go. Colour shows up better then. Do you know, I say the colour shows up better. It
It's
aren't
still a
screens
little-
annoying.
Still a little bit more golden for us in the studio, isn't
It's got a real mustardy golden tone to it. It's just gorgeous, and it goes so well with this sort of Parma blue grey that's in the collections as well,
it? Yeah.
which you saw in the last piece. But this one is Glastonbury. They are all named after places in Somerset.
I think we've got one more colour in the Glastonbury, haven't we?
We have.
This one. Have I gone upside down again? I am.
Just look for the birds. The birds will tell you.
I actually noticed that the tree was upside down there.
Auntie Liz Crangle thought my tree was cute.
Oh, it is very
Don't
cute.
know which tree, whether it be the little one with the cinnamon stick or the... I think possibly that one rather than
There
the
we
other.
go.
Isn't that pretty? I just love these. I think they've got a timeless elegance to them. It's great because they've got that traditional tone, but they somehow have a contemporary twist on them. I really, really love them.
Yeah.
But those colours together as well, they're just, perfect. Sylve Sparkly, still one of my favourite names, says you could add bells and other dangly things. Oh, and morning, by the way. Sylve, you're right, if you're meaning with my little Christmas tree. I
Yes.
think some bells and dangly things would work really well. Gotta love a dangly thing. Now this one is spelt Frome, but from my time in the area, I know it to be Froome.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Mum and I have been going down to that area for, years and years, decades, to go to Centre Parks, and we always stay nearby.
The depth in those flowers is
yeah.
really showing up on the screen. It looks great.
Oh, that's good. Because sometimes we do worry, don't we, that you can't get the detail on a screen. And you don't get to touch it. I mean, we stroke them all.
We
Yeah.
do.
We stroke them all.
do.
Oh, Jane's in my clan. Oh, goodness, I thought I was the only person like that. That's why I need the tissue box covers too. Jane,
Ah.
I feel your pain. I can't be doing with an ugly tissue box cover. It's just not, it's not classy and elegant enough, dear.
Look at the colours in this one. It looks
Stunning,
great.
isn't it? This blue-grey, though, it's one of my favourite colours. It's just gorgeous. Myra's got some bells that she bought a few years back. You need a magnifying glass to see them. They'd be perfect to make those little trees. Myra, you just need to grab. I'll see if I can
And then you've got it
tag the
again.
creative grid at some point. But it's the 2 peaks in 1 creative grid that we used for the little Christmas tree, which is CGR 2P1. You grab one of those, you can cut yourself some triangles that are, I think, perfect shape, and then boom, a few cinnamon sticks. In fact, we've got some cinnamon sticks. Might see if I can put some little bags of cinnamon sticks
Yeah.
up. Useful.
And then this is the last one in that collection, the last
Sorry, you're
colour.
going to say froom.
Froome.
Froom like
Do I have to
broom.
say it like that?
Yeah,
Froome.
froom like broom.
And that's in that neutrally colour again.
Heather thinks a tissue box cover is useful as well. I think, actually, let's go front for a minute and just say hi again. Hi. Yeah, I think they're a really nice gifty make. I will, when someone's poorly, I am that person that will rock up with some magazines and some tissues and some other bits and pieces and just put like a little care package on the doorstep. So yeah, to make a nice tissue box cover on the tissues and put that in there, I think it's lovely.
Yeah.
And we all generally know, when we know someone well, what their favourite colours are or what their decor's like. So I think it's a nice little make. Hopefully you all agree. Morning all, loving the fabrics. Good job, ladies. Thanks, Lorraine. We love that. Lynn says, hi ladies, please could you tell me if Lisa Chandler's charm purse will come back in stock, and was there a demo? Do you know those were incredibly popular, weren't they? We get the charm purse, that'll be the little Summer Palace one.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will do our best to source things whenever we can. We are getting them from the other side of the world. Lisa is incredible. And all jokes aside, actually gets things to us more quickly than our European suppliers.
Oh,
we
most
love
definitely.
her very, very much for that. But yes, we will see what we can do. And I'm sure Tash will report back next week. Myra says, beautiful fabric. They all look like they blend together. I was in the loo if I missed anything. Lol. I love the way they feel they can share with us. They can share.
I guess they do blend together.
You've got, I mean, that was the Glastonbury and the Froome. We've got more as well. So there's sort of Ditsea prints and lots of different blenders. Jane was all over the place with her eyes on these because they just scream incredible quilts to you. You've got so many fabrics here and they would all look stunning.
Should we fan these out actually so we can look at the whole collection together? Yeah, let's go over.
Okay, we'll go overhead. I'll line that up ready. Tell me when your fan's ready.
Okay, you carry on talking while I get my fan ready.
Heather says, can we catch this later after the live finishes? Heather, you can. You can always catch us later. You can watch here on Facebook or on our website or on YouTube as well. So we have lots of option for you. We like you to be here live. We love to have a chat. But yeah, if you can't see us live, you can always catch up on previous shows.
Yeah, they do blend really well.
We also have, let's go overhead. We also have on the product pages now as well a link to each show, so you can see that demo. So if you buy instructions and do what I do, shelve the instructions and the fabrics, and then 3 months later have a quiet day and say, well, just make this. And I love to see a demo of what I'm making. It just makes it more real than reading something. You can do that. You can pull that up.
Some people are learners that like to read and watch at the same time, aren't they?
They do.
So which collection is this, Gemma? Do you want to talk us through this one? Have I faced them?
Winscombe is what this one is. Aren't we glad that's on the on the selvage? Because if it hadn't have been,
I've put them the wrong way round.
that I put on to tell us what each one is. It's on the other end. Yeah, should have told you that.
Yeah. So again, you've got the really nice,
it's that
neutrally
yellow.
Brown. That yellow. And I don't know if you can see there's actually a little bit of detail in the back of these. I think on the overhead it looks plain, but shall I take this one?
Yeah, do.
Actually no, let me do the blue one. I think that might come up a little easier. If we put that on a close-up, you can see the detail.
Yeah, you can actually. There we go.
There you go. You can see that a little bit better.
Fabulous. How do we not know these things?
So there's actually some leaving, like leaves and a nice little pattern in the background as well, which just...
It echoes it, doesn't it?
It's stunning. It looks great. I didn't know if you could see that on the overhead, and that is in all of the fabrics.
And these blend, you know? They blend so
well.
Yeah,
they do. They look great together.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. Do you want to pick each one up? Do you want to have a quick,
Go on then, let's have a quick...
As much as say these are like a brown, these are called, now that one... This one I remember is old white. That one I'm trying to remember in your hands. If you look on the end of the bolt,
let me turn it around.
I put a very helpful label on, which will say
shadow white.
Yeah, shadow white. So there's shadow white. These are all meant to look like they are a vintage fabric.
They really do, especially this one.
You'll see tomorrow Jane's vintage quilt that she's made. I mean, we've got it on the wall behind us, but Jane loves a vintage inspired fabric. That was shadow white. This one here is old white. This next one that SJ will pick up.
Sorry, 1 second.
I feel really bad. SJ's having to do all the lugging, but I have a problem with my neck and back. So if I'm seen lifting things, Natasha gets extremely upset with me.
I think if knowing that I was here as well, I think everyone would get angry with me too.
They would.
But there we go. So
those are the Winscombe.
Yeah.
In the antique grey, the shadow white, the old white and the Indian yellow. And then the next one we have are the Wellington.
Shall we do a fan on these?
I do a fan.
Yeah, do you want to put it to the...
I'm a fan of the fan.
I am.
Fan of the fan.
Here we go.
See what everyone's up to and what they've got to say.
I don't know if I'm doing as good of a job of this fan situation, but...
You're doing a great job.
You can see all of the colours together. And they do all blend quite well with each other.
Oh, they're all confessing now that they take us to the loo, but they turn it round so we can't see them. Myra said she had her phone, but it was turned down as she has the TV on loud.
Oh.
She was scared she'd miss something. And Becky says, beautiful fabrics, ladies. You're doing a fab job. I mean, I'll be honest. It's SJ that's doing a fab job. She's my
Yeah, but you're
muscle.
talking through it.
Okay, all right.
It's a joint effort.
So these ones here are the Wellington. Wellington is a French medium small all over floral. Is the descriptive on that.
It is beautiful.
But yeah, they are just stunning.
Sorry, taking it to the close up.
Oh yeah, well, if
apologies.
I know, I'll do. There we go.
Sorry.
I'll press the button.
There you go. So you can see that a little bit closer. Again,
We're getting there.
so much more detail in it than what you can probably see from the overhead.
Absolutely. That's Wellington in Palmer Grey. I love this Palmer Grey. It's got those beautiful blue tones to it. It's just stunning.
Just
Absolutely stunning.
and then you've got the neutral.
Yeah.
Is this the
That is shadow white.
shadow white
shadow
again?
white again. You won't need the gym, will you?
Nope.
This is our Wellington in Midnight Blue. Just
Ooh,
gorgeous
look at
Wellington in
that.
Midnight Blue. And there's 24 of these. And I just said, oh heck. How would you choose? How would you choose? The Indian yellow is a favourite of mine. I've bought a sofa actually,
It's a
sofa
great
bed
colour.
for my craft room, which is this colour,
Yeah.
this stunning yellow. But yeah, this is part of the reason why we've activated the code for today, because wow, you know, when you've got so many new beautiful fabrics, it's difficult to choose.
It really is.
So yeah. Look at poor SJ lugging all these bolts now.
Sorry, I'm just trying to
like-
still make the set
You're
look
really hench.
look nice.
Impressed. For a beautiful small thing, you are extremely hench. Well
Oh,
done.
no.
Bravo.
There we
What have
go.
got
And should we
left?
look
We've
at the?
still got some more.
We do. Oh God. Ooh.
Right. Nothing to see here.
I was doing so well up until that
It's all
point.
fine.
Let's
Do
just.
you want to move those other bolts while I just stand here?
Yeah.
So yeah, when I when I put them up this morning, when I, you know, when I wasn't lifting,
Yeah.
they were stacked quite well, weren't they?
I know. I'm sorry. I'm ruining these.
I'll just stand here.
I'm ruining the
for a
display.
moment.
Yeah. I'll take
Well,
these off and then
SJ
we
does
can.
her fan. So glad I put jeans on today. Jeans? Belt on my jeans today. They kept sort of heading south yesterday.
And then
But I must have a belt on today because I can't hoik them up.
do you know what? You just don't think
Can't
about
let
these
them
things. We've
fall.
got our mic packs on. So the mic pack was probably bringing your jeans
Yeah,
down
yeah,
yesterday.
yeah.
And I've decided not to wear jeans today.
You're in your leggings.
I'm in leggings, so
Just kind of pulling them down at one
let's
side.
let's hope that my trousers stay up today too.
All these little tips and tricks we could have
You
done
don't
with.
think about it
No,
until
you
you get
don't.
here and you're like,
You
oh, so
don't.
where am I attaching the mic to? Where am I attaching the pack to?
I know.
Okay, so we've only got 3 colours in this one, but
How heavy is a bolt, says Claire Angelina. They vary slightly actually, depending on the...
yeah, so this one here is actually a bigger bolt,
It
and this
is.
one here is a little bit
There's less
less
on
on
that
there.
one. Yeah.
so.
But I don't know. I've never weighed one. I just know that I'm not supposed to lift anything, actually, which is extremely irritating because I am one of those people who likes to get stuff done. And rather than ask for help, I'd rather just do it. But yes.
And I did get stuck in a
I
little bit of
am-
traffic this morning, didn't I? So I got here and I see Gemma like lugging. I was like, what are you doing?
You'll be very poorly later.
Yeah.
Well, you know. Needs must.
So this one that we've got here is...
Yep, you've got there the Chevithorn. Now, of all the places in Somerset that came up, I don't know where this is. So if anyone else knows where Chevithorn is, please do tell, because I don't know. I don't know. Are you pressing my buttons, Esther?
Sorry, I am.
Hey? You doing all right
But-
now? She's pressing my buttons.
I wasn't willing to do that yesterday.
No, it's not that hard. You can see how it works now.
Before we came on air, we were deciding where each person would stand.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be as far away from the buttons.
Yeah, you didn't want to press my buttons,
No,
did you?
I was like, no, Gemma, you're standing that side. I'll stand. Even though I don't know how to use a sewing machine, I'm going to stand next to the sewing machine. There's just so much detail in these. They're so lovely.
They are absolutely stunning, aren't they?
Yeah. And
so much choice, so much choice. But yeah, Chevythorn, I'd love to know where Chevythorn is. I mean, even if you get on Google, peeps, you know, I'm not proud, I'm not bothered. But if someone has actually been there, then it would be great to hear from you too. Let's have a look. Love all these sophisticated designs. They are sophisticated, aren't they?
Yes.
I love them. You're both doing a fine job. Fabric is gorgeous. I can't decide. Help, please. Ali, I'll be completely honest. It's really, 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 really hard. So I looked at whether I did some bundles and then I just couldn't decide. I wanted them all. So yeah, maybe we'll look at that with Jane later and see if she can give suggestions on what she would put together.
She might be better at giving us some direction on that. But at the moment, I just think they all, like, even just lined up like that, they all work with each other, don't they?
Yeah.
They're all
they do.
amazing. And so
The ratings are going to rocket if the men get to know about things going south. I'm not sure that I am that market. SJ and her leggings going south maybe, but I'm not entirely sure that I would bring a crowd, or the right crowd if I did bring a crowd. You lot are naughty.
We just keep saying the wrong things to
I know.
We went into the HQ after the show yesterday, and I don't usually wear my hair down, and Jane mentioned about how I had my hair down, and she said, "Oh, you look really pretty," you know.
Not to say you don't normally.
No.
Jane,
I know, and I was like, "Oh, usually it's just so much easier to get it." What did I say? It's so much easier when you're off your face, when it's off your face, or something like that.
Yeah, when it's off my face.
It's so much easier to work when it's off my face.
Yeah.
And that made everyone laugh, didn't it?
Everyone laugh.
I do. Yeah. I don't really think about what I'm actually saying until it's come out of my mouth sometimes.
We have that in common here. Tasha's in the same boat. I think, you know, it's a necessity for working here. I think that's just what is needing to happen. Yeah. So here we have Bridgewater. Now I know where Bridgewater is. I do know. I've not checked if anyone knew where Chevythorn was, however. Julia says, "Morning all. Sorry I'm so late. The puppies decided that 10 a.m. is playtime." Oh gosh, I'm so jealous. No one's saying they know where Chevythorn is.
I have no idea where it is.
Up on mine,
I have no idea.
There we go. Good
They
stuff.
just look great together.
These. You're doing a fan.
Yeah, but it's not really worked so well.
All right.
There we go.
People can see. They know the beauteousness of this fabric. Look.
So this one's a little bit of a plainer one, isn't it? So this would kind of be your blenders.
Yeah. It would just, I mean, look at it. It's so elegant. I love it. But it would just perfectly blend with any of those feature fabrics. Moda have made it easy, really, haven't they? It doesn't matter what you buy. It will just all go nicely together and you'll love it.
Yeah.
I mean, perfect. Shall we have a little close-up on those?
Yeah, go on then. I'll quickly run through them.
And then we're done.
And then we're done, yeah.
I mean, we're not done. I've got to sew some stuff, which I'm, of course, not even slightly anxious about. There we go. Look at that.
So, yeah, it is
so
very simple.
Now there's a couple here that are quite similar. So
that's your shadow white
Shadow white, but we do have another shadow white with an antique
I know, I was looking at that one. That one's lovely.
When I loaded them,
but this is your
hang on a minute,
Indian.
I've loaded that already and I haven't. So we'll perhaps have a look at these side by side in a moment.
Oh, okay.
Indian yellow. Isn't it funny how the light changes? That is that same glorious yellow that we've had. Having said that, the screen that we see and the screen that you see, they look two different colours. I'm so glad we've got reference points all over the place. This is our old white again, is it?
Yes.
When you said, I don't need my glasses.
I know.
Apparently you do.
Apparently.
You do.
So yeah, that one's the old white.
And then that gorgeous Palmer grey is next, which is the that beautiful blue grey.
I do enjoy this colour.
Oh, I think Chevythorn is near Tiverton in Devon. Really?
And then this is the one that Gemma thought that she'd already loaded.
Yeah, so that first one on the shadow white,
so that's I loaded. The antique grey.
Right, because they both have that same shadow white. Yeah, they both have the same shadow white background, but the one has an antique grey design on it. Let's go overhead and we can see. Yeah, can you see, or do we need to go? We need to go close up.
I think we do, don't we? They look very similar there. Here, if we do.
Poor Josh will be going, girls, get your idea together of which camera you're using. Hey?
Is it switched?
It is now. There
There
we
you
go.
go. You can see a little bit, ever so slight difference.
It's a slight difference. But they're beautiful quality cloth, lovely soft fabrics. Love them very, very much.
Yeah, I have enjoyed stroking them as I've been
Well, that's good.
picking them up and
Because you're
putting
not
them
a
back.
sewer, SJ, but you are an appreciator of fabric, which, you
am.
know, is the thing, isn't it? It's what we all are here. If you're not,
It's not
the
okay.
place for you, is it?
I think everyone who's watching this today has an appreciation for lovely feeling
3
fabric.
miles from Tiverton. Excellent. I know Tiverton because my husband, Woolacombe is his second home. It was his holiday location of choice with his family from when he was tiny, and that area of Devon we've done a lot. So being in the Midlands, when we head down there, we stop at Tiverton. It's, you know,
Oh,
it's your little pit stop on the way.
nice.
Go and have a breakfast or, you know, something like that. We haven't been for a while now, obviously, current reasons, pandemic, etc. And I can just tell he's got that nervous twitch he gets when he needs to go. He gets this kind of calling to go back to the seaside. But yeah, Tiverton is our little pit stop on the way, so thanks like that. You obviously like playing with buttons. The buttons are a source of great worry that we're going to press the right ones and
Yeah.
and that you'll be able to see us. Oh, apparently I'm amongst friends and I don't need to be anxious.
I told you this. We all told you this.
I've been doing demos for years and years and years and years in the beauty industry with a live audience. So, and sometimes that audience is huge and I'd be mic'd up and under camera. But I think because I've demonstrated for years and years, I'm so used to it now that it's not a problem. Similarly, I can stand here and chat for Britain, probably drive you all mad. Not a problem. However, it's a little bit like driving someone else's car or, you know, using someone else's kitchen and their oven and everything. If it's a different machine, it's not something you're used to, then you kind of go, what if I don't know how to use it? What if I've been doing it wrong all these years? So, yeah. And the minute you demonstrate anything, this is why I've printed off my instructions, you go blank a little bit. It's trying to remember what do I do next and all of those things. So I'll show you how to make this. I might have cut my fabric ever so slightly bigger just in case today. But, you know, I'll show you how to make the tissue box.
I think I've put the set back.
Okay, if it all falls and lands on me, health and safety is one of my things. So we're all good. It's fine. Thanks, SJ. You're going to stand and, you know,
I
sit and
am.
tappity tap.
Yeah,
now.
I'm
Give
gonna-
everyone a wave.
You'll be able to hear me, but just
You
won't be able
will.
to see
She'll
me.
be in the corner where Tash puts me. She'll be in the corner.
I am going into the corner.
So
but
I'm going to stop
Gemma,
looking
you've got
here
this.
now. Yeah.
You
Deep
can do
breathe.
it.
You're going to be fine. You're still amongst friends. Well, I like to think so. So, what have I done so far? Well, she says, apart from throwing things on the... Where did that go? There it is. Next to my laptop case. Throwing things on the floor. Like I say, the reason that I put this make together is I don't like a boring tissue box. If you don't mind them, then sorry. But for me, it's a nice gift make. It does mean that I can OCD all over the place with something that looks great in every room. But it's something I've made different ones over the years, different patterns, and kind of gone, don't like that, don't like this. So I wrote my own. Which I think is what has brought Tash to do her own patterns so many times, is that she's had an idea for something, looked at different instructions and gone, nah, don't like this, don't like that.
I'm just going to make my own, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Are you going to wrap yourself in a little scarf / blanket now?
Yeah, my legs are a little bit cold.
She's got it on her lap like a little nana. So, 2 secs. Clearly you need a charm pack lap quilt. And not a scarf.
Clearly I do.
Ready to catch?
Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry if you heard that. It hit her straight in the mic.
Yep, sorry.
It was really brilliantly planned. I feel we need a photo of you with your Nana lap quilt. We'll pop that on social later. Should we take one? Shall we? You know, we'll take it.
Well,
There's nothing like being super professional, is there? I'm going to zoom right in. There we are. We'll get that on social for you later. But for now, can we show a screen? Does it work?
I don't know.
Look at that. That's SJ in the corner, everyone, with my awfully cracked screen protector on my phone. We'll stick that on social later. Oh dear. So, yeah, the the make then is fundamentally very, very simple. And if you buy yourself, you know, 1/2 metre of fabric, make sure that you've got some interfacing. I like a medium weight. Have a play. If you come up with something else that you like, let me know. I did consider a chunkier interfacing. I don't think it needs it because the box gives it some structure, but this just is enough. I think it would be too, I'm going to say the word floppy, and then people will come up with all their own little fill-ins and amusements there. But I think without this, it wouldn't be firm enough, SJ. I think this is just, you know, the right level of support for your fabrics. And then you can use your quilting weight cottons. The fox one that I've made, the fox box cover, is left over from making curtains and is more of a sort of linen. I still interface that. Just think it behaves better. It doesn't warp, it keeps it still. So yeah, we have these on the show as well. The instructions, as always, are full colour. Josh has done his perfect twiddling with it and made it all look fabulous and professional, which we love very much. But the first thing you need to do really is measure your box. Okay, so I've got a box. Ah, ha, ha, yes I have. This one's not too ugly either, is it? But it wouldn't go with my decor. Now you may see amongst everything this ruler, which is my little favourite ruler. But I measured in inches. I measured the box, and then you add on, and it's all in there, you add on your seam allowance to make sure that obviously you've got the room to sew it there. If you do see this in the instructions, by the way, this ruler, apologies, but it is my favourite ruler. No, we don't sell them. No, I don't think we can get them. You know, this morning when you said, you're not going to show that, are you? And
Yeah.
No.
I knew you would.
No, of course I won't. Of course I won't. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, okay. So that does feature in the instructions, but I think we've cropped out the wording everywhere it needs it. But just have a quick measure of the box, add on what you need to add on. And again, all the instructions are there. And then same with the sides. Now, weirdly, I didn't realise, but your side panels are not exactly the same. This is wider than this on this particular tissue box. So for me to make a template wouldn't have been the right thing to do, because I should imagine this varies by brand as well. So the instructions are there for measuring, and you just add an extra part on for your seam allowance across the width, and then you add a bit more on for the length so you can hem it. If, like me, you forget to add the extra length on the first time you make one, there are options. You can turn it up by the tiniest tittle of a smidge if that's all you've got left, and just machine very, very carefully. Or what I did consider doing, if it had been exactly the right length, would have been just to make some binding and to just bind around the bottom. So yeah, but that's all mentioned in there as well. So once you've measured, added on your extra seam allowance, you're then going to cut out some pieces of your medium weight interfacing. You just need one piece for each of the sides, and then the top you need 2 pieces, okay? But only one of which needs interfacing. So I've taken the time to just quickly interface my fabric beforehand, which means you can stop beeping now. I've interfaced mine right up to the edges. If you want to make your interfacing ever so slightly smaller, that's completely up to you. I know some people prefer to do that so they don't have it in their seam allowance. But yeah, 4 side panels and then 2 top pieces, one of which is not interfaced, and you'll see why. But any questions or any comments? Yes, SJ?
No, we've just got a love heart from Wendy.
Ah, thanks, Wendy. So, yeah, I've chosen my favourite piece, incidentally, to interface for my top panel, because when you're creating the top panel, the interfaced piece will be the piece that ends up on the outside of the box.
Yeah.
This will end up on the inside. You'll see what I mean by that. Okay. The first thing we're going to do then is take our top piece that's interfaced. We're going to turn it over. Shall I go into overhead so people can see what I am doing? Is that a good idea, do we think?
Yeah.
I might use my spanking ruler. Please no one type that word into the comments. We don't know what Facebook would say about that. We've got into trouble before for the word stab, haven't we?
Yeah.
Someone saying they were going to have a stab at something.
Yeah. Yeah.
We get into trouble for all sorts of things. There we go. So there's our interface top piece. We need to find the centre. So you can either measure and find the centre, or, you know, cheat. make yourself a little pleat. Okay. Oh, she says. Oh, the pen line is there. You just can't see it too clearly. But yeah, so we'll go. Let's just make sure. Let's measure it properly. Let's not do a shambolic job with the, the folding. So we find the centre. And this is to make our aperture, so you've got the space for your tissues to come out of, she says. So my wrist is buzzing well. Thought for a minute there it was something, there's no sound or something like that. It's not.
No, we're all good on that front.
There's an operational thing up at HQ to do later. I'll be buzzing away. There we are. Okay, so we found our centre. Now, aperture-wise, I've made them slightly different each time. So the first one that I did, you'll see, you can still see a bit of the tissue box peeping through, which I didn't like very much. So the second time, I made the aperture ever so slightly smaller so that you can cover up more of the tissue box. It's personal preference entirely, so I've put into the instructions, the recommended opening. If I go with this one, we're looking at sort of 2 inches by 3 inches. So we'll measure out. She says, just making sure, actually, because that fabric, we've got a directional print this time, haven't we? So if I want it that way on, which I do, and 2 inches is this way. Lots of drawing. I'm using Tasha's styler pen, actually, I quite like it. I have to grab one of these. And you won't see any of these lines later, so.
Yeah, this will all be on the inside, won't it?
Yeah, absolutely. This will be hidden well. Okay. I tested the machine yesterday. I haven't tested it this morning. It might be, not ready to work for the day. We haven't spoken yet.
Haven't had a little chat?
No. Meant to say, now listen here, you.
Be nice to me today.
I have to say, though, yesterday, did I completely wuss out of doing any sewing? Yes, of course I did, because I had the opportunity to. Partly because I had that last-minute panic that the 1/4 inch seam on here would be different to my machine. Ended up doing it the second we got off camera, and it was absolutely fine. So and it's such a beautiful machine. It's so much nicer than the one I use at home, and mine's a good machine. But I've got the NX on its way. So what we're going to do here is we're going to machine around the square that we've created, or the rectangle. Ooh, really will get the hang of this, backwards, forwards, upwards, downwards. So I'm going to machine around this aperture. I'm going to have the fabric for the top, both pieces, right sides together. Let's actually just show that. You know that pinning thing that I'm averse to? Jane always tells me and Tash off. So your other top panel piece that's not interfaced, let's put those right sides together. And do you know what? Should we use some clips? Should we be good?
Go on.
Should we do it properly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, for those that don't know, let's go to the front. Let's have a little chat. For those that don't know, Jane's block of the month, because my patchworking had previously been pretty limited to machining together charm pack squares, and that was pretty much it. I was very, very limited because I wouldn't cut any fabric. I was too worried about it. Because of that, we've taken, through the Candy Medallion quilt, we've taken me as the guinea pig to make each block. And a couple of things arose. One of which being, when Jane says to me, you need to cut this pretty accurately, I work in nail terms, which is every millimetre makes a difference. And there's more in it than that. Like, I don't need to OCD quite so strongly over it. But when Jane says, prepare your fabric with a fabric spray, it's for a reason. And it's actually so much better when you do flatter or best press your fabric first. So I have done that today. I have flattered my fabric to death with beautiful pineapple scent. And yeah, I'm learning my lessons, and using pins or clips to hold things together is a good thing to do. It's there for a reason. Okay, so clip your top pieces right side together and sew around your rectangle, which is what I'm going to do now. Look at me peeping.
Don't even change the screen.
Has it gone? Oh no, it hasn't gone. Press the button. I press the button again. Why is it not switching? Even the camera doesn't want to see my sewing. Let's just have a little play.
We do. We all want to see your sewing.
I might just have to reboot it. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. So I nearly got off the hook then.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I want to see. I want to see the fabulous sewing
Thanks.
up close.
Shush. So it's fine. So we're just literally going to stitch around that rectangle, ignoring all my other beautiful lines that I created to make sure that it was right. At home I did this at ridiculous top speed. Just realised if my hand's in the way, you can't see a thing, can you? But it's so swanky, isn't it? I can't wait to get my NX. I'm so excited. I paid for my NX a really long time ago, but insisted that other viewers get to have theirs way before me, which I think we can go one stitch forward on that, because I'd wanted everyone to have the chance to get theirs first. I can manage, but I am now super excited that at some point I'm going to get my NX.
Now
Quite
that
nice
you've
to,
used this one.
Yeah, this is the DX, which actually I adore as well. I'd be happy to have one of these. But the NX is its big brother, and it does all sorts of wonderful things that I don't currently know anything about. So, have I just blocked all that view?
No.
Was that all right?
Yeah.
Now, at home, what did I do? I went round it twice because I was concerned I might cut into my stitches. So, yeah, if you want to go around twice, you can. I do use quilting clips.
Elizabeth is saying, chocks away, Gemma.
I know, right? I do use quilting clips quite a bit in this make, just because I find them really easy, and also I'm one of those people who stabs her fingers with pins and bleeds. In fact, in the quilting classes I was going to, the lady who ran it literally got to the point where I'd arrive and she'd go, oh, and she'd go and get the box of plasters and put them next to the cutting mat where all the pins were, where we do all our pressing and cutting, and yeah. And she'd go, there
Got them ready.
And touching my fingers with the iron is another thing I do. So yeah, I love a magic clip. I have put some of the clips actually onto the show today, so that anyone who doesn't have quilting clips, they are an absolute godsend. I use them for dressmaking and all sorts, because they don't like with a pin. Well, I mean, some of our beautiful fine Taylor Seville pins were fine, but you have, a bump, don't you, when you put a pin in. I like these because they keep things flat. We also have a few, I noticed in the warehouse move, of the little quilting clip pins.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, which come with just a few, and they're absolutely gorgeous. So it's potluck on the colour.
I really thought we'd sold out of
them.
them.
I thought we had. I found a few, so I've loaded them up for today because they were really popular. I like anything small that you can take to a retreat as well, and they're really handy. It's like the mini flatters. I've got the little pineapple grove.
They're great to put in in your sewing bag.
They totally
travel
are.
Size.
Totally are.
Claire Angelina's with you. She ripped up her finger along a pin facing the wrong way. And she said that does hurt.
And I've got this habit of forgetting pins are in my work and machining as well. So for me, it's just like clips wherever I can. So we're going to cut out this section here. You could go in with a rotary cutter if you really wanted to, but we need to cut out all 3 layers. Obviously not right up to your stitch line. I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch there. Should we go an overhead? Don't know how much people can see on the overhead of what I'm doing, but I've just snipped up so that we've got a little gap, but we're going through all 3 layers so that, it's like Finger Mouse. You won't remember Finger Mouse?
No.
I come up with all these references, ladies and gents, and SJ quite often is like, I don't know that one, because she's so young and fabulous.
There was one yesterday. I can't remember what it was when we were in the HQ.
The Dove from Above.
Yes, that was it.
Who remembers the Dove from Above? I shouted Inga and said, I'm just loading the Dove from above, and then started making the sound. around, and SJ just looked like I'd gone completely mad.
I was wondering what had gone on.
It was on Shooting Stars, which was a comedy sort of panel program. It was where Matt Lucas got famous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he used to dress up as an adult baby and play the drums. See, it sounds even more random by the second, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
But it was really iconic, like 90s telly. So yeah, there's me shouting to Inga that I was loading the Dove from above, which is one of our little felt kits that had come back into stock with our supplier. And sort of, she's laughing at the and SJ's acting like I've gone completely insane. Okay. So we now have this panel with the middle bit cut out, which I've got rid of. And the next thing we need to do is pull through this onto the other side. And I do that in stages, and then I quilt and clip it just to make my life easier. It will need pressing into place, and it does look a bit twiddly, twiddly small. Twiddly is, when you have a twiddle, isn't it? Jane has a twiddle on every show. But this is one of those moments where we bring it all through. Can we see that all right? I think we can.
Oh, I understand what you're doing now. I was understanding what the extra piece of fabric was for.
This is so that the edge of our opening has got a seam on it, so you don't see the interfacing underneath. It's edged nicely. I'm trying to remember the first time I made something that used a similar technique to this. It was a while ago. Can't remember which product it was. But yeah, so I'm just pulling it through, popping some quilting clips in. Is anyone else confused in the comments? Are we all right?
No, everyone's good.
Yeah, everyone else gets it.
Casa said, hand binding my newest quilt on the weekend without a thimble and managed to get the eye end far enough into my finger pad to bleed all over my white binding. Okay, so I'm going to tell on Jane now. Tomorrow's quilt, Jane was sewing the binding on while she was eating her tea. I have to face you for this. Jane was sewing this binding on whilst eating her tea at home. So on the back of the quilt, don't tell her. Oh, do you know she was listening yesterday, wasn't she, up at HQ? So she's probably listening going, Gemma, no! Don't tell her, Gemma! On the back of this quilt are some little blobs of beetroot. We've all done it though, haven't we? Not been paying attention and done something ridiculous. But yes, I actually really, really, really love hand binding. I love doing binding on a quilt, and I know it's what most people, they make a quilt top, they maybe even get to the stage of quilting it through, but they just hand binding it. They're like, oh, I can't face it, and they leave it for years just sat there. I love doing binding. Something Jane and I have bonded over because she does too. Apparently whilst eating beetroot. Okay, can you see how it's all starting to pull through okay? Now what I'm going to say is, in a minute, I'll be taking these clips out of the way and pressing in sections to get as flat a finish as possible. But if you do end up with little tucks here and there, before I turned it through, I could have clipped in towards the stitches if I was really careful not to cut into them. That would be fine, that would help. But this side that you see here, the non-interfaced piece, is not going to be seen in your finished article. It's going to be on the inside. So if there are some little tiny, tucks and things here and there, it really, really doesn't matter. Doesn't that look attractive? Oh, and it all seems so pointless because in a second I'll take them out and just be working around with the iron, but I find it really helpful. If I'd got a lovely stitchy witchy finger like Jane where she can, press beautifully and it stays flat, I would. But I find just putting some quilt clips in for a few seconds even just helps it to hold. Everyone's quite quiet today. Have you had any more questions or anything come up? Or just general comments? Just Heather also likes beetroot.
Oh, okay. I've not had beetroot for years. I always liked it. And fresh beetroot as well. You can roast that. It's nice with a roast dinner.
I've never thought about doing that.
You're not a roast dinner fan though. I found this out yesterday and it upset me greatly. I am going to just quickly get the iron and press these down completely flat, so I'll be whipping these out of the way.
Oh, Jane is watching.
She and I were such good friends.
She just put thanks, Jem, laughing faces for
Okay, well,
sharing
as long
her
as she's
story.
laughing.
And
Tomorrow I'll let her show the marks.
Elizabeth is saying Jane will be getting her own back tomorrow.
Do you know, she probably will. It's absolutely fine.
And Myra's telling Jane to get back to work.
Yes, Myra, yes, you tell her. Chop, chop, Jane. Get cutting and designing and all that sort of stuff you're doing.
I'm sure they are very busy in the HQ.
I'm sure
They're
really,
holding
really
it down
are.
over there, aren't they?
They are. So I'm going to be very careful with the iron while I press this. I'm not going to burn my fingers. But I don't know where Tasha's put hers, and I don't want to open another packet because these are wonderful. We have got the little finger guards. Yep. And they're silicone, and you can pop them on the ends of your fingers, and then when you're working with the iron, you don't have to worry about ironing your fingers. I mean, my nails are normally the thing that the iron
That burn.
touches first.
Yeah, I was going to say. That's
I'd
what
rather they
happens to me.
didn't. But I just think those are ingenious. And again, when we moved, found those.
There was a lot
Helpful.
of things that we found, wasn't there, in the move? It is crazy, but it's like when people do a house move and they come across things that they find right at the back of their wardrobes or in the back of cupboards that you completely forgot you even had.
And you know, it's crazy, isn't it, how much stuff you just hang on to. We said when we moved, most of the boxes that we had said loft or garage. You're like, why? If it's just going to go from one house's loft or garage to another house's loft or garage. Why are we doing that?
Yeah, why are we moving
Why
it?
do we hang on to that stuff? My mum's been having a good clear out because at some point they will move house. And it's just so like, wow, some of this stuff you've hung on to for a really, really, really long time.
Oh, my parents have all sorts. They've still got school books from when I was a child, like when I was at primary school.
And the Christmas decorations you made, you mentioned that yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah. So my mum really struggles to let go of things. So I'm sure we've got boxes.
I just realised everyone's just looking at an empty
table.
It did that lovely loady thing it does where you can't press any buttons.
Elizabeth said, but Christmas decorations go in the loft. So that does still have to go with you from loft to loft.
That's an acceptable loft item. I think luggage as well. Fancy dress costumes in our house too.
Oh, Myra's come up with a great idea.
Yeah.
If you put Xmas fabric on the inside, you could reverse.
You
for the price of one.
You'd have to just have, so what I've done with this is we've got the fabric on the outside and then just interfacing on the inside. It's not lined. But if you were going to double side them, you could potentially look at that. You'd just have to look at how because on this you can see the seams on the inside.
Of course.
Trying not to show off the brand of my cheapy tissues, but
we're allowed to on here.
I think so. We can get away with it. So you can see. Just going to close up. You have a double-sided lid, if you like, top panel, because we want to make sure that you've got a nice edge there.
Oh, of course. So if you made it double-sided.
But on the actual inside, you're not going to see this, you know. So I have just left it as interfacing. And then the bottom of it's hemmed. So from the outside, this is all neat at the bottom, she says. Swoop. Up, down, left, right. Where am I going? There we go. So the bottom's all neat. And the top, you can't see interfacing poking out. But yeah, your inside is just, it's just interfacing. So yeah, Myra, design a reversible one. Go for it. Oh. Go on, back on. Put it at an angle. There we are. Beautiful. Actually, that's the wrong box, isn't it? That's the other box. Oh, well. Makes very little difference. They are the same. So, yep, I'm just taking these clips out of the way. Just pressing to get a nice, neat edge. Like I said, that top layer that wasn't interfaced is not going to be seen. So if you have some tiny tucks in the corners, not a problem. There we are. I am going to make a Christmas fabric cover for my tissue boxes from the ones that are behind me, the ones I've made the Christmas tree panel out of. So that Christmas tree panel will turn into a cushion, and then I'm going to make a cover. Yeah. But you know, you could put different fabric on each side as well. You could, you know, with the Christopher Wilson tape.
Yes,
if you wanted to, you could use 5 different fabrics for the top if you wanted that different too. You could have all sorts of fun with this. And I did think, you know, I've made my sample in the cave There's just so many caves that would look fantastic.
Yes. Yeah.
But if you've got spare pieces from other projects, perfect.
Ooh, we're down into single figures of our charm pack.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah, I think everyone knows a good deal when they see it, don't they? Okay. So you'll see. There we are. So, oh, excuse me. It'd be helpful if these camera angles switched when I wanted them to. There we are. So you'll see from the top then, this is the outer. So that all looks quite neat in the corners. And then there's some tiny little tucks on this inside. Doesn't matter. What we're going to do next is just top stitch around the edge, just to give that some stability and to make sure it looks smart. Are we actually switching this time? Good. There we are.
Victoria P is also watching, and she said definite yes for the Christmas version.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a great idea around Christmas time, isn't it, to have a little... Well, you decorate your whole entire house, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
So why not decorate absolutely everything, including your tissue boxes?
And let's be honest, sad as it is the time of year for a sniffle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even if it's just the I've had some hot food or some booze sniffle, because that's me all over. Oh, I've gone one stitch too far. Never mind. Let's just pop back. Trying to keep my hands out of the way this time. It's those things you don't think of, you know, when you're sewing on your own at home. You don't need to worry about whether someone from the side can see what you're doing, do you?
True. You're doing a very good job there.
Thanks. I knew you were my friend for a reason. My co-conspirator.
Co-shenanigator.
You're co-shenanigator, exactly what I was about to say. Lo, you know, don't you?
Oh, Sarah Payne saying you're doing great, Gemma. Looking forward to joining you on
Sarah,
Friday.
I'm gonna message you afterwards. We're gonna have a chat. There we are. Oh, do you know that button? It gives me such great joy. It's the one thing I can't wait to get. Is that button where you just press and it cuts your thread. How much thread does that save?
Probably a lot.
Loads. I've normally got annoying long tails of thread to have to cut off. And literally, there it is. That dinky little bit. I doubt anyone can even see what that is, but you know, it's like that much. That much. Okay, so we've done that. The next thing we need to do is put our four sides together. Now, the box that I'm using today it's less than, it's like an 1/8 of an inch difference in side widths. So I've made all four panels the same size. If I'd got a different box, some of them are as much as say 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch different. So you have like a pair of sides that are the same and then another pair of sides that are considerably narrower, then I would have pairs of sides. So the one that I'm using today is fine. So I can kind of attach those without having to worry too much, and they can all four be the same. But I'm just going to attach the four into like a cube, but I'm going to leave the first 1/2 an inch and the second 1/2 an inch unsewn. So I'm using a 1/2 an inch seam allowance, 1/2 an inch at the top unsewn, 1/2 an inch at the bottom unsewn, and you'll see why. And yes, I should probably clip these together. I am actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a good girl. I'm going to mark, especially on my first panel, top and bottom. I'm going to mark where that 1/2 inch is. You know when you know, look, I've literally just dotted it in the right place. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to finish here. Okay, because I want those unsewn, those first two bits, and they'll give us a position to attach the top to when we come to it. Okay. You know when Tash eyeballs things and goes, oh, I'll just eyeball that, that'll be fine. And I go, Tash, you really should, you know, just measure it and mark it and do it properly. And she goes, no, it's fine. There's no time for all that. Yeah, I now understand why.
Heather Barnett is asking what seam allowance, please.
I'm using 1/2 inch. Now, if you wanted to do 1/4 inch, that's absolutely fine. But for me, just wanted the security of some extra fabric there. And then what I'll do is when I've done each seam, let's go overhead. When I've done each seam, I will open it out and I'll press it flat. Okay? So I'm doing a little stitchy, witchy finger press, you know, a la Jane. Then I'll quickly just pop to the iron, press that flat as well. So yeah, in my measuring, I've allowed for that. This is where you can get creative with your panels. So I can see these two are quite similar. I want to make sure they're on opposite sides rather than next to each other. Okay, we'll be good. We'll measure them all. I'll be the good girl. And then next time I'll be able to say to Tash, I did all my measuring. I did it properly. Even if I did use my ruler that says, you know, that. Even if I did that. Didn't type it in the comments though, so it doesn't count.
No, but yeah.
No, but yeah, but.
If anyone has the captions on, it still counts.
Oh, okay. Whoops. Didn't say it. It's just, unless the captions can read my ruler. Oh dear. Right. Let's change the camera angle. Has it switched? It has switched.
Yes.
It's not always today. It's been a little bit naughty, not going to lie.
It's because it behaved so well yesterday.
Yeah. I do quite often clip these panels together incidentally, and there's me just like, let's just whiz it through. I'm channeling my inner Tash. Okay, and again. We'll just stitchy witch that one flat. The magic finger. I think that was a programme as well, you know, the magic finger. It was definitely a book. Those awful Kipper and I can't remember what their names were. Biff, Chip and Kipper, I think, were the names of the children in these books that my daughter had to read. 16 and a half now. We don't have any of that, thankfully. But yeah, you can see we're building this up. I'm wondering if anyone else is making at home now. I know we've got some binding going on and some jabbing of a finger. Has anyone else mentioned that they're crafting this morning?
Not so far.
I like to think there'll be people with their cinnamon sticks making trees now. Off the back of
We've got Myra saying I've got a hospital appointment at 8:30 a.m. on Friday. Don't start until I get back.
I mean, obviously, Myra.
Myra will give you a call and make sure that you're ready.
Because we'll all just wait. No problem. There we are. Okay. I'm waiting for that moment when I realise I've missed a stage that's really important.
No one's shouting anything out yet.
No one's screaming.
No, not yet.
We get that, you know, but quite often it's on a delay. So by the time they're screaming, Tash has fired on ahead and done something.
Claire Angelina, I'm doing the annoying single syllable kids books now.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't miss it at all. It's awful, isn't it? They say, oh, it's so precious this time with your children. Like, yeah, it is. But there's certain things, like the pain of teaching them to read, that I'm not loving. Don't miss it. But then Mini PT is now my bestie best friend. We get on so well.
Yeah, you had a little day out on Friday, didn't you?
Well, an evening, yes. So it was the 20th anniversary of Legally Blonde. And our local cinema was running an evening where you could go and watch it to celebrate the 20th anniversary. And she messaged me, was it last Tuesday, Wednesday time, something like that? And did she ring me? I think she rang me, actually. And SJ were, really, really busy with show planning and all that kind of stuff, just making sure that you guys are well provided for in Tash's absence. You've got something to watch. And there's Meg like, oh, Mum, Friday night, should we go and watch Legally Blonde? I was like, pardon? It's 20 years old. That was the point. It was, it was on. And we did. It was ace. Really fab. But they do these evenings where they'll give you Well, it was pizza last time, but it's sweets this time, which is nice. You get a free drink, and yeah, it was lovely. But I do love the cinema.
Oh,
Jane and I have a shared love of the cinema.
I love to go to the cinema. Jane Washburn says, "Hi ladies, crocheting while watching you." Yes, we've got another craft on the go.
My mum, Eds, is an avid crocheter. She really is. She's made so many baby blankets. It's insane. And they've gone all over the world, which is just lovely. I can do a granny square. That's pretty much where I'm at with it. You knit, don't you?
Yeah, I do. And I started crocheting a jumper.
Oh, wow.
And I got so far as making the body.
Yeah.
But couldn't quite get the arms finished off.
So you could end up with like a tank top.
So I've basically
jumper.
but it's actually quite funny because that's kind of on trend at the moment. I don't know if you've seen it. There's like cricket vest style. So maybe I just leave the arms off.
Maybe you're ahead with your trend. Crochet though, it does come together quicker than knitting, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You produce your work a lot quicker. And Inga's the most phenomenal knitter.
Oh yeah, she's got a new project on the go.
Has she? Did she tell you what she got going on? We do
think it's
some
another
work.
jumper.
I promise we don't just sit talking about what our latest project is. It's another jumper.
Yeah.
She made the most beautiful jumper. I mean, on me and SJ it would have been a dress because it was quite long on Tash, wasn't it?
Yes, but that's what Tash wanted though, wasn't it? She wanted a long jumper and she struggles to get them because of how tall she is. So Inga made her one.
She did, and it's just phenomenal. But we've talked about her doing some demo here actually, but she's just got this most incredible eye that she can just kind of go, oh, well, you just do this, this and this. She can see something and know how to make it immediately. I'd got a dress that had a top on it that was sort of a knitted effect, and then the rest of it was fabric, like a stripe. The Hampton stripe, Lisa Chandler fabric, would be phenomenal actually to make a copy of the frock. But the top part is all like a really close knit, so you can't see through it, mercifully. But it's just really beautiful detail, and I said, I'll never be able to produce it. And Inga's going, and she stood there looking at my bosoms in great detail. She's like, I could. I said, you what? She said, I could. And she could have just literally sat there and just created it.
Amazing.
I mean, it just boggles me. I can't get my head around that. So yes, we have then our top piece and our 4 side pieces, and we need to attach. So that's why we've left this top section unstitched, is so that you've got some movement there, and it will give you lovely neat corners. And we'll do this one side at a time. I'm now looking at this going, which was my poor side? Which was my good side? Because they're actually not that pleated. So at this point, if you look at your top panel and you think, well, I kind of want that as the front and that as the back, and then you've got a favourite side, just make sure you get it into position. Also bear in mind, if you have made your side panels different sizes, so they're, a wider pair and a narrower pair, this is the time to take note on your tissue box of what you would consider to be, your front. Because quite often, strangely, the wider aperture here marries up with the narrower panel at the front. And in your brain, that doesn't happen. So on the Cafe one, I assumed that the opening would be wider along the wider edge. So I put my wide panels front, back, my narrow panels on my sides, and it wasn't right. It didn't matter in reality. I've just pulled it onto the box, and because it's a cardboard box, it will go on. But just take note of which way round you need your panels if they are pairs. This one I've made all 4 the same size because it's literally like less than 1/8 of an inch between the sides. So I figured it can just be a little bit looser one way than the other. So what we do, making sure it's the right way up and the right way round that we want it, she says. Quite fancy that as my front. Is we take our edges, so you pull that apart there. Okay, and we're just going to pin or clip. I've left clips over there, they're everywhere. I do this at home, I leave them all over the table. I've got this lovely new craft room, and yet it's an absolute hovel currently because I've just chucked all the stuff in there that I've wombled away over the years. Things that I've seen in remnant bins, stuff like little bits, big bits. I've got to get my storage solutions right in there. For now, it's such a tip, and I've still got a sewing machine on the kitchen table and quilting clips all over the kitchen.
Uh-oh.
I know. It's not good, is it? So we're clipping that together on one side, and we work one side at a time. Why do we do that? Well, we want to make sure, let's go overhead and we can show you. We want to make sure that we get that perfect neat finish. So again, you will leave your first and last 1/2 inch unsewn like you did on your sides. So we're just going to mark that again with a pen. I know I've got to start here and I've got to finish here. Oops, quilting clip in the way. I'm not a pinner as a rule. I do prefer quilting clips. They're quicker to whip out as well. It's not just from it. I can't do this without cutting my fingers or, you know, poking myself in the fingers situation. Right, there we go. Blue pen on blue fabric to show me where I need to start and finish. What could possibly go wrong? Close-up camera ready. There we go. She says, perfect. Okay. Just have to make sure that nothing else is gathered up in there that shouldn't be. I mean, I hope not. It'd make for entertaining mistake, wouldn't it, if it was? We've had this a few times, haven't we, where things haven't sat right and we've stitched through the wrong part, but no, that all feels like it's sat correctly.
I think everyone has that, don't they?
And I think that's what's great about Natasha in general, but the channel is that her and Jane, and now me, we don't hide from a mistake. We will just say, oh heck, I've done that, and haven't we all at some point, and we're real with it. Just one of the very many things that make us very normal and real. The bulk of my project is facing the camera. You probably can't see me stitch. Okay, so I will show that I have stitched from here to here and just left that first 1/2 inch unstitched. Then again we twizzle round, we line up the next panel, so we just pull those pieces out of the way.
I can't see you properly.
Can we see? There we go. So I've just turned it a 1/4 turn from there to here. We pull those pieces out of the way. What can I hear over there? Is it HP? Is she asleep?
Yeah.
I thought we kicked out all cats.
I know.
Oh, bless her. She's so old now, bless her, and she just, has a little snooze somewhere and then doesn't move for hours, and you suddenly hear a rustle.
You might be jinxing it.
Suddenly hear a rustle. She jumps up on the desk, I'll be amazed, because she's not that agile anymore, bless her. But she might, just for me, just to give us all a giggle. So we've pulled these panels out just to make sure everything's lined up neatly. Okay, and again, my 1/2 inch mark is conveniently, of course, where I ended stitching. Okay, so I'll go along here. I just need to mark on this end where I've got to stop, because each corner will make sure that that first and last 1/2 inch is not stitched. Okay, might turn it round this time, that doesn't sit well with me, but you're going to see more, aren't you, if I turn it round this way and stitch from here. Then my 1/2 inch marker. Ooh, I'm not. Because you know what? When we deviate from the plan, SJ, is when it all goes shambolically wrong. Was that why you were looking at me earnestly then? Because I'd forgotten the camera.
Yeah, I was just about to. But
Jen,
you got
we
it.
can't see you. We can't see you. Oh, okay. Suits me well, but not you guys, so we won't. Work to be done on letting people actually see what I'm sewing, I think. That'll be my feedback to self.
You know, you've done well. This is
It's
a little
just
bit difficult though, isn't it? You can't.
just a sort of a baggy bit. And on your own machine, you kind of get a feel for where your 1/2 inch marker is on both sides, but I'm kind of looking at it going, I think it's that one. I don't want to mess it up. Okay. So we're just switching, you know, switching corners, clipping each one in, all 4 are exactly the same as the previous one. But yeah.
Oh, it doesn't want to switch, does it? Look at
No,
it.
it's really not behaving. SJ keeps watching me press this button. Ha! There we are. Keeps watching me press this button and it just doesn't want to switch today. It keeps misbehaving.
Who's had their sticky fingers on it?
Yeah, quite.
We can't blame it on Emily today.
No, we can't. We can't. So, yeah, you have got a latest project, have you, going on in your crafting stash?
I am knitting my niece, my newborn niece, a little set. So she's got a little hat and a cardigan.
So cute. How many weeks is she now?
12.
Oh my gosh.
Going to be 13, I think.
That's flown by.
Yeah.
SJ
Really
is
has.
the most excited I've ever seen anyone over having a niece. She's completely in love, aren't you?
She's adorable.
She is. She's very cute. And we have to see lovely pictures and videos as they come through, and I am absolutely happy about that.
She is, she's just so clever. Things that she's doing at only 12 weeks. It's great. She started sucking her thumb now.
That's you.
Yeah, I used to do that a lot. I used to do it so much that I have one thumb that's smaller than the other.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Wow. Switchy. Ah, it did it that time. It just doesn't want to ever do what I want it to do. But, you know, every now and again, it proves me wrong.
We've got a lot of people crocheting this morning, actually.
Do you know, it really is popular. And
Yeah.
another thing I want to have a go at, and I've said I think you should do, is macrame. Because crochet's had a whole new revival, and then off of that, people are macrameing. So I don't know how many people can macrame, but I really want to learn. And I'm more to the point, think SJ should, because she's, you know, a fabulous young thing who would
Be on the list
look like a macrameer.
We'll have to add it to the list. But yeah, we've got Claire Angelina who's doing Yep, she is crocheting as well. She's doing a complicated crochet. Well, not complicated, but she's crocheting a basket for the local hoop in the playground. Thick plastic string.
Wow. Oh yeah, that's exciting.
That's a little bit difficult to work with, isn't it?
Oh, I love it. I love the diversity of craft we have going on. That's incredible.
Oh, I don't know how to say this style of crochet.
What's the spelling?
A-M-I-G-U.
Amiguri?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen this.
What style of crochet is that?
Wow. Let's see if someone can pop in with a...
Yeah, Patricia, let us know.
I have seen it. In fact, it was mentioned at my craft club the other night, last Monday. So nice to be able to go back to these events, you know, go back to sort of crafting in person and such. We've all just been apart for so long, and people are able to bring along their quilts and the things that they've made in the absence like that we've had, which has been like a year and a half.
Yeah.
So to see everyone's makes after all that time is just gorgeous. I love it. Don't need to mark the 1/2 inch on this last one, you know, start and stop points, because of course we've got the stitching line, because I'm on my last side, I've got the stitching line to work to. So it's just joining that up and keeping it in line down the sides. There we go.
We've got Elizabeth Krangle, who is also trying to still unbox her craft room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't feel so
She's
bad.
saying that she can't do it herself, so she's getting itchy fingers to get in there.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to lift anything. I have to be really careful. At the moment, this year I've been suffering. We thought it was vertigo, we thought it was all sorts of things, didn't we, SJ? But
yeah.
I get incredibly giddy, like really dizzy and giddy. And if I do anything, you know, that I shouldn't do, whether that be sit with my chin pointing down to my chest, working at anything at the bottom. That's why this is great. People worry this is going to be too high for me, but I can look straight across. I'm not supposed to have the look down going on, because if I do anything like that or lift, it sets my neck off and I'm really, really giddy and nauseous. It's awful. So that's part of the thing with the craft room, is like, I know I can't, I mustn't.
Yeah.
Once I start unpacking, I'll go at it like a mad woman, and then we'll have problems.
So it's
Look,
best
we've
to
got
keep the
something
door
that looks
closed.
like it's, you know,
Yeah.
sitting there. What I'll do at this point is just quickly turn it through, just to check that where my corners were, that they're going to turn through nicely and I haven't got any holes. Ooh. It's not a hole, but you know, I was a little bit short on the stitching there, ever so slightly by about a stitch or two. I did reverse my stitches in the corners, I might have missed that one. But they all look like they're going to be fine. Sneak peek, sneak peek. Okay, so we'll turn it back through so that they're wrong. Oh, and actually, you can check it fits your tissue box at this point as well. It's always a good plan, isn't it? Make sure it fits. If anything, this one's going to be a bit looser. Yeah, it fits. It is looser. That's absolutely fine by me. So yeah, turn it back through, and then we just need to carefully clip the corners to reduce the bulk. And when I say the corners, let me just go to close up. When I say the corners, of course, you've got the corner of your top panel and your side panels. Just be really, really careful that you're taking that little corner off. I just flatten it down, but that you don't cut through your stitches. So this is where we'll watch me cut through my stitches, okay? Just taking that bulk out. Nope, we didn't. Hurrah! I'm going to do that 3 more times, not on close-up,
So
in case it goes wrong. But there will be no hiding from it if I do it, because there will be a big hole in
might
one
fall
corner.
apart, yeah.
We've all done these silly things at
Jacqueline
least
is
once.
busy making her Pay It Forward neonatal
Oh,
quilt. She said, thank you,
fabulous.
what a wonderful idea.
Great. No, you're very welcome.
Patricia Hooper has come back to us. It's a Japanese style of making
Yeah,
small
thought so.
animals. I'm making a dog.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah. So Margaret is saying it's the crochet stitch used for toy making. I'm crocheting a shawl.
Nice. I do hope that people will share these makes with us so we can have a nose, because we are fundamentally quite nosy. I think I've managed to cut all 4 of those without making a hole in my work. I mean, fingers crossed and all of that. So I've cut those through, I'll cut them back so that we're not going to have that. So yeah, a little margin there to make sure we don't cut through the stitches. I know what to do next, but still I turn the page just to be sure. Right, just because I can. Let's, you know, put this one back on there because that was the right fit. They're the same box, I'm confident. Okay, when it comes to hemming, we can turn it by a tiny bit and press it, put it onto the box, okay, and then turn up again, and where your stitch is finished, it should be about right for the depth, okay. Oh, she says, I bet the brand was just waving at everyone there. Other budget supermarkets do exist. Couldn't have got the wrong camera angle then, could I? And hidden the brand. But yeah, you'll see, and then you just stitch around the bottom and it hems it.
Fab.
If, like I say, very foolishly have not left enough length there and have cut those panels too short, there is the option to add binding. A bit of pom-pom trim would look absolutely
Oh wow,
gorgeous
that would be
as well.
amazing, yeah.
Kind of wondering whether I ought to do a different finish on this one and then post pictures later. Don't know, because we're at 11:45. How did that happen?
We probably did have a little bit too much of a chat at the beginning before the demo started.
I think we probably did. I'm going to just very quickly, now that those corners, because I don't think anyone needs to see me hem this. I think we can, you know, let everyone go and have some lunch. But we'll turn this through. We have got turning tools as well. It's just, you know, me actually having one to use. Ooh, these we've got as well. Let's give that a little straighten out, poke the corners out, straighten out, poke the corners out. Anyone who's managed to hang around this long, well done. It's been a mammoth one for what is fundamentally a little make. It's quite a quick one to do at home.
Oh, Elizabeth is saying we didn't see the brand.
Oh, good. That's the wrong way around.
Heather also loves the pom-pom trim idea. And she says, thanks for an enjoyable show. So we do still have people watching.
I'll take the top of the tissues off so that we can't see the brand. But yeah, once you've hemmed it, you're going to have something that looks very beautiful, like so. And then
It does look great.
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm really pleased with it. Yeah. Pretty. I've got some pom-pom trim at home that is, I'm pretty sure, similar to this pretty grey. So that's part of what I'm doing. I might hem it and then hot glue gun on, or I could hem it with it and sew it on, the pom-pom trim. And I think, what do we think? That didn't go too badly, did it? There's no holes in it. It didn't fall apart. I didn't swear. I didn't cry. I didn't pass
Elizabeth,
out, and I didn't break the machine.
Just explain, just in case SJ gets hangry.
Yeah, we do need to go and feed the beast before she gets really upset.
I've got a
SJ
bad
just
name for
has
myself
to eat.
now.
But you know, Jane's similar. Like, the two of you are the sweetest, loveliest, nicest people I know, and you're a joy to spend time with. But both of you, if you are tired / hungry / in need of a brew, it just doesn't, as a visible
We're not great
change.
people.
It's fine. There's nothing not great people. I just look at you and go, do you need a break? Do we need to feed you now or get you a drink? Or do we need to just, just have a moment?
I'm not going to lie, feeding me solves a lot of problems. If I'm not happy with you, if you've upset me, if you bring me a box of donuts, all is forgiven. Yeah,
Well,
I am that kind of person.
that's great. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today, everybody. I don't think there's much left to say, apart from please do join us tomorrow for Jane's beetroot stained on the back quilt.
She is really she's gonna get you back tomorrow.
She's so gonna be upset with me. No, Jane is perfection itself. However, she did get beetroot on the back of this, which I love, and I love that she told us. Perfect.
Well, it was pretty obvious. We'll have to show you tomorrow when it comes off the wall.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been Ribena or anything, couldn't it? It could have been us in the
true.
Yeah, in the staff area. So yeah, this is the beautiful quilt we'll have tomorrow. It's Annie's quilt. It's going to carry on that lovely vintage theme we've got going on.
Do we want to do a close-up? I actually learnt yesterday how to get it down.
You think you can get it down?
I think I could.
Okay, well, let's do that then. You get from underneath your lap quilt.
Sorry. Oh, God. That was keeping me so warm.
And now you've taken it off. It's not even cold in here.
I am a little bit chilly.
Yeah.
I get cold really easily, though. That is my problem.
Don't knock the wreath on the floor.
I know.
That'll be the next thing. Yeah, we will do a close-up today because no doubt, Jane will want it on the wall looking beautiful. Once again, catching up tonight. But hi, everyone. Love the tissue box cover. Thank you, Naomi. Great demo, Gemma. Thank you, Jane. It's been brilliant, ladies. Well done, both. I've been thinking this morning about making one myself. So glad I tuned in. I'm watching I'm at work, so sneakily watching, enjoying every minute. Jane's granddaughter's been asleep through the whole thing. Yeah, well done. Well done.
How should we do this? Should we do a close-up? Should we do an overhead?
Let's do a little close-up first. These are the new beautiful vintage
It doesn't want to change to that camera, does it?
No, it's not just me. You've seen me press that button then.
I'm enjoying it. Look at that.
Oh, look at that. There we go. And we've got two different combinations of fabrics that you can buy bundle-wise.
To bring it down so you can see the
little.
Look at that. The little dipsy
Poor Jane. She'll be like, wait, this is my quilt. I wanted to show it tomorrow.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. It looks so pretty on the wall. I wanted to give everyone a close-up.
There we are. Let's move the iron. No one needs to see the iron. None of that. Let's just look at the beautiful quilt. There we go.
It's very pretty.
She's done it again. And this is one again that I'm going to have a go at. I've just learnt so much by following Jane's patterns, and Jane, I just feel like she doesn't ever blow her own trumpet, but she writes in such a way that if I didn't have pictures, I'd still, and I'm a very visual person, I'd still have a fighting chance of being able to make something without the pictures, because she just writes her patterns so beautifully. And I'm not an experienced quilter. Like I say, I stayed in my, safety zone of just using charm pack squares. And every time I have to make something new to try out a pattern, for Jane, normally the block of the month, like I say. I just am really, really pleased that it comes together because I do as I'm told.
I always find
Follow
it really funny as
instructions.
well whenever I say to Jane, when she sends through the images of her quilts, and I say, is there any interesting, you know, copy about this quilt that I could add into the newsletters or on social? And she'll always start with, it's a simple one, or
Yeah.
and I'm just like, really?
But
Are you
she has
sure?
this beautiful way of making something complicated looking simple.
Yeah.
And that's what makes her more than a teacher. She's a facilitator. She takes something and she makes it accessible for everybody. So yeah, join us tomorrow for this beautiful, beautiful quilt.
With the wonderful Jane.
Yeah, with the wonderful Jane. We are very, very grateful for your support. Enjoy your 5 off 50.
Yes.
Go wild with that one. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Bye.